Thank you. Well, the first thing I think you would notice is that the position of the northern traditional rulers and the governors came in a little bit late. It's one of the last voices to be heard in this area. There has been until now a near universal consensus that the nation does require subnational police systems. The traditional rulers and the governors took considerable amount of time to study the situation because it was important to avoid a number of errors. First, a matter of this importance should not be handled as a knee-jerk reaction. And two, it should not be a reaction against somebody's reaction. The North needed to study this issue about state policing, both in its context and in terms of its place in the demand for restructuring the country and readdressing issues about our coexistence as a federation. That is important. That's why it took so long. I think that the final decision taken to support the call for policing is the right one. It addresses a fundamental failure of the Nigerian state to secure citizens. Under the circumstances, it's the only meaningful solution, but it's contextualized in a number of very important issues. Policing is a fundamental governance service institution, and you don't toy around with policing. We've seen states that are in the forefront of the demand for policing, and we understand that it has been substantially a reaction to immediate issues. You want to avoid major constitutional amendments around something like policing because of one or two issues that are transitory. Political, transitory. Even events that can be handled if you had a firmer political leadership, if you had a stronger leadership, hardest farmers clashes, some governors who are playing to populist sentiments. These are not grounds to amend the Constitution and create things like policing. If we have to have state policing, it must be informed by a more fundamental considerations. For instance, what kind of country do we need? If you have state policing, you are likely to end up with 37 different police formations. You have a federal police, 36 police formations. Who's establishing the standards? Who's establishing professionalism? What is their scope? Are they all going to have the same remit, the same scope, the same responsibilities? Are they going to be informed by different considerations? There's a more worrying issue. Governors are going to have an overwhelming influence on them. And you can see the evidence on the ground. Our democratic process has created monsters. I don't mean the monsters in the sense that it is, but the democratic process in Nigeria has produced governors that have virtually become the embodiment of everything in the country. And those who express worry about what governors would do are justified in worrying about the long-term effect of having policing under them.